And welcome to the first episode of Nasboys Talks. So, what Nasboys Talks is basically kind of like a real life podcast. We're not going to talk about racing. We're not going to talk about sports. We're just going to talk about stuff that interests us, like, just life. Maybe tell some stories. Maybe you guys can try to get to know us a little bit better. So, let's get started. I think this is going to be a fun episode. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm sure we could. We have plenty of things that we come up with. Some stories y'all probably don't know about us.
I mean, of course, yeah, we got the same boys as usual, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get started. So I had a question box from December. That's how long we've been waiting, December, to do this video. Um, and we just finally got around to doing it because obviously I guess the first thing I really want to start with is like everybody's schedule. I mean, we don't have to get into like all the specifics, but from when the podcast started, like 2 years ago, almost like it's gonna be three next December, which is which is freaking crazy in my opinion. We've been at it for 3 years. I thought, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, just to kind of drop the bomb a little bit, I thought we would quit in May of 21. I'm not gonna lie. But nah, we're still going strong, and obviously I'm proud of the show and the way that it's gone. I mean, we have 100 subscribers, we get pretty decent views. I'm proud to be doing this.
With the as you mentioned, just scheduling things going on. Like we all have a pretty packed schedule, especially recently. And during the off season, we were wanting to make some more videos during the off season. Just didn't come
Right.
around. We did a lot more reaction videos this off season than we did the previous year. But yeah, we definitely all been busy. I know for me, an example, I've been working about 5 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And trying to look for I've always continued with job searches, looking around. I know that in March I'm going to have some racing events coming up, so looking forward to that. I know on Saturday, March the 4th, is Stock Car Classics first event of the year at Rockingham Open House, so I'm looking forward to doing that and filming there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
have I'm in college now. I have a job where I work about 18 to 20 hours a week, which doesn't sound like much, but with the other stuff that I have to do, I get busy quickly because again, I'm in school, and then some days I just feel like kind of chilling out when I have free time.
For real,
And
for
then
real.
the show, obviously. So, and then, I do like like workouts, stuff like that, martial arts training. Um, so yeah, it's like I got a pack schedule too. It's not as bad as, last summer, but I'm pretty busy, man, for real. And I
Yeah.
wish I wish more people would understand that besides you guys, because I'm not gonna get into specifics, but sometimes I don't feel like people really understand that I'm busy and I have a life outside the internet, and I'm gonna get
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah. Right.
So
Right.
Christian might know like what I was referring to there, maybe Cam, but yeah, man, I just wish people would understand that. So what about you, Cam? What's your schedule kind of like?
I don't know if you guys know this. I kind of want to go into this too. It's like the reason why it's also hard for us to sometimes make videos. And, we try to put out the best content we can for you guys and when we can. But sometimes it's hard just for the fact that, I mean, like, I'm not going to expose Mike's age, but I'll say mine. I mean, I'm 17. I just turned 17 this past February. And, like, we're growing up. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
when we first got this podcast, like, Christian was an adult. All right. Christian was an adult. He's already grown up. And, but he loves work, which I respect it. I admire it. Good for Christian. Um, me and Mike at the time, we were both like, I wasn't me and Mike
I
weren't.
was 17.
Yeah, I was 15 or 14. I can't really remember. I mean, I was just young, dumb, and I was able to do whatever I wanted because I didn't have a job yet. There was not worrying about going places and
Yeah,
ACTs and studying and college and all that crap. I was just, thinking of what's in the future. So, now it's kind of like it's more of a bigger thing. And, I'll even get more personal with you guys. I moved to my dad's here because I had to step up in school, and it's going great for me, by the way. So but yeah, no, I just think there's a lot of things that I think happen behind the scenes that people don't see, and
Right.
so
Yeah.
sometimes when we do see people say certain things about, I've heard a couple people complain about the upload schedule and certain things, and we try our best, truly we do. But sometimes there's just things that you know, we just have
Yeah.
things to do, and you know what,
And
and there will be hardships like this in many more years to come, and I'm sure there'll be days where we can't make it, and that's what's up. But I promise you guys, we'll owe it up to you.
and I
You
will
know,
I will say I'm not gonna give like specifics of what we have behind the scenes, but we have some cool video ideas that I think you guys are really gonna enjoy. It's just a matter of when we're gonna do it. But we do have some cool ideas coming up in store for sure.
yeah. I'm going back to what Mike said about life outside the internet. That is a topic that I'd like to talk about a little bit more. You know, I feel like sometimes people think that I'm on the internet all the time. And that's just, a
That's
lot of
the
people say
truth.
that because I run a lot of social media accounts and I post a lot, not only on Instagram, but on Facebook. I post probably
Right.
more on Facebook now than I do Instagram, which is actually wild. And I post more on Facebook and Instagram more than YouTube, where before it was YouTube more than Instagram. So, I've had people be like, so all you do is you're on here posting, you don't do anything else. Well, I've actually cut back a lot on technology over the past couple months, and I've been trying to for a long time. When I
Right.
first got social media, I was on it a lot because it was new to me. It was, fun. It was like, oh, this is a whole different thing. I didn't really know how to act a whole lot, very well communicative online. It was hard for me. But over time, it became easier and I was able to learn what's right from wrong and how to communicate with people through the right way through social media. I've obviously had my mistakes, but you know, I don't want to be labeled as someone that's addicted to social media and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, it is part of what I do, but at the same time, I want people to know that like it's not my life. I have other things outside
Yeah.
of it, and it's definitely been hard for me to cut back on it, but I'm trying, and that's all I could really say. There's some weeks that I go hours less on it than I did before.
Right.
All right.
I mean, I guess for me, I was a little addicted to social media, but I wouldn't say it was like really the most consuming thing in my life. Like I try to kind of step back and I mainly post like when something cool is happening to me. Like, I don't know, I'm at a basketball game, for example, which I stormed the freaking
Mm-hmm.
Maryland basketball court. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I can talk about that in a little bit actually, but other than that, like I try not to like post on social media because I'm not one of those like people that just wants to like show themselves off. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, look at my cool
understandable.
fit today, or oh, look at my cool Jordans today, and oh, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? Go like my post. Oh, I gotta get 100 likes. Oh, so I'm not that type. I just post stuff like if I feel like I want to post, then I'm gonna post. So
Yeah,
which I guess I can go kind of into the basketball game story since I mentioned it. So Christian and Cam, you guys know it because you watched my Instagram story. But for those of you guys
yeah,
that
that
don't
looks
know,
fun.
for those
That
of you guys
looks
that don't
fun, man.
know, I went to a Maryland basketball game with my dad and a couple of his friends and his friends' kids, and the my friends' kids or my dad's friends' kids, excuse me, two sets of them were brothers, right? So obviously the kids are like cousins and all that. And the kids whose dads are brothers, they wanted to do it because it was the talk around like the Maryland fan base that if we were to win this game, because we were playing the number 3 ranked team in the country, Purdue, and they're ranked number 5 right now, but at the time of the game, they were ranked number 3. Uh, Everybody wanted to storm the floor.
Yeah,
So I saw them; they were sitting in front of me because they had to buy like 10 tickets. and obviously we couldn't all sit together because there were people like right next to the side where my dad's other friend and his kid sat at. And so they had to sit like a row below us. So
Do you know what's crazy, Mike? The
what?
sides of those railings, they held in place way better than the Commanders, which just tells you more about the football team. But anyways, go ahead.
Well, it wasn't even the railings, but what I was saying was the people that whose idea it was for the group to storm the court, they got up first. And I saw them. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting up too. Screw this. I want to do it. So I got up. I hopped over to where their row was. And again, they're sitting a row in front of me. I hopped over to the chairs where their row was, ran down the side, went down the stairs, and I stood on the stairs with like a minute left in the game, basically. And a minute is basically 5 minutes in basketball terms.
For
So
real.
once the game was over, everybody starts running down the stairs. And I think my dad's friend's kids got caught, whose idea it was. But what I did was I followed these guys that were right in front of me, and they juked the side. So there's a main entrance to the court, right? There's a main entrance to the court. And they tried to go down that main entrance. But what I did was I followed a couple of guys because I saw some security and they saw security. So we juked the side where the main entrance was, made it toward the right side of the baseline. There were some stairs, hopped the stairs, and boom, I was on the floor. And
Oh,
there's the videos right there of me on the floor. I got to meet two of the best players on the team, Jameer Young and Dante Scott, as well as, got to dap up Julian Reese. I didn't get a picture with him, but that was just dope. It was one of the coolest experiences of my life next to meeting Joey Logano. That was awesome.
college basketball is obviously very electrifying, and it's I feel like the fans get more involved in college basketball than they
They
do in
do.
the NBA, just because in college basketball the fans are allowed to do more than NBA
Right.
fans. That's just being honest with you. Yeah, I think rushing the court is pretty fun, and it's pretty entertaining. Um, but at the other side of that, I'm sure not everyone likes it, obviously. But I'm
Oh,
glad you had fun. I'm glad you got to go, and man, that looked really exciting.
there were people that were pissed, obviously, that people were storming the court,
Like the
which,
security, or
no, like the security, I don't know how the security felt. Because on one hand, they were trying to stop people because you don't want it to get so overcrowded that people get hurt. But at
yeah,
the same time, they weren't really getting mad. So I couldn't tell if, like, okay, they understand this is a big moment for the program. So they're going to let the fans, storm the court. Or
hmm
if it's just that you can't get 10,000 people storming the floor. What exactly is the point? But they were all really chill. Like, for example, when I talked to that other player that I didn't get a picture with, Julian Reese, the security guard was just really chill. He was like, hey, back away from the player. He wasn't like being abusive. He wasn't being, a jerk security guard. He was just chill, trying to do his job. So I couldn't tell if they were just like chill security guards and they're like, okay, we need to protect the players, yes, but at the same time, let the students and the fans that wanted to come on the court have fun. So,
hmm
because there was a video of a guy getting caught, and my dad's friends' kids did say that they did get caught by the security and stopped.
Now, Cam, have you had any experiences like at basketball games or any games where fans have rushed the court?
No, I really haven't. I mean, I would hope to experience something like that. I remember one time I went to the Ohio State title though for like football, and that was pretty cool because you got to rush the
Shoot,
field.
really?
Although I wasn't with anybody I knew, I was just there and I was having fun because I like going to high school football games because I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know,
okay.
something about that atmosphere to me. But yeah, that
I
was pretty
thought you
cool to go.
meant like Ohio State, the college.
Oh no!
I was about to say.
I wish listen. I'm not even like Ohio State, Michigan. I'm neutral on both of them, so it's like I wish I could go to one of those games, man. That'd be sweet.
We'll
There was a
say that
lot
I'm
of
not a Michigan fan.
I know we do have some suggestions, Mike. If you want to start going off of one, I don't know. Just thought about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was getting ready to do that, but this is kind of how it is actually when we talk on the phone off camera because like I'll call I'll call them up. Like, let's say we need to have a meeting about like what we're gonna do about a video. We will literally spend an hour just talking about random crap besides the
Yeah.
point.
Or
This is
memes. I
literally
mean,
how
we
it is.
also
Like we
said
just come up
memes.
with stuff. Right. So this is why we wanted to do it because we're like, well, if we have an hour for random crap, we have an hour for a podcast. So just try something new out.
You know,
So sorry, go ahead.
speaking of memes, like there has just been a lot of odd memes recently, like going around the internet. Like Mr. Beast was the fake Mr. Beast guy, which was pretty funny because he actually, he has a YouTube channel. That one guy pretended to be like Mr. Beast, and he
Words.
wanted to have a Super Bowl commercial about these nuts, and clearly that didn't work. But yeah, it was that was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie.
When we all get a chance, we should bring the sports podcast back. But just the thing is that part of the problem is, like we mentioned earlier, we don't have time. We mostly have time for like one episode of a show, and I have time to edit one episode of a show. That's the
Well,
issue.
well, speaking of sports, did you see that Jake Paul lost today?
I
That is
did. Thank
crazy. I did
God,
not think he
Tommy.
would be. I didn't think he would lose to Tommy Fury of all people. Like, what is going on?
I'm happy. I'm happy for Tommy Fury, even though it
Yeah,
Yeah,
took
man.
him a while to accept the fight. But good for
yeah,
him. Glad to see Jake
Yeah.
lose.
I was very happy to see Jake lose. I think he's made mockery of boxing, in my opinion. And
I think.
I'm just happy it hasn't invaded into UFC or mixed martial arts yet, besides boxing. So
I
thank the
think
Lord for that.
I have a controversial opinion. I think boxing has been a joke since YouTubers have entered in the sport.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I
I,
really do. I think
I
that
know.
Uh,
I think that at first it was a cool idea, but now it's just starting to get old.
No,
you
I
know
agree.
what? I'm going to disagree with you on that, but go ahead, Cam.
I would just say I know I agree because you see these boxers nowadays and they're cocky. They still have that boxer presence to them, and now you see guys like Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis, and you see these guys and they kind of have like this YouTube, like social media, some big time celebrity attitude, and it's not a good one. It's kind of like I don't know. It's not just rubs you wrong. The way these guys are
Right.
flexing their money, flexing their this, their that. Here's me on my yacht and the Bahamas, bro. Like, and they just and then they're going on social media and acting like clowns. So, clearly
Yeah,
that it kind of has left a mark on the sport of boxing, and sadly that's the way things go. And I think they've and good for them because those guys will probably realize by acting that way you're bringing in more money. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. I definitely don't feel
I
right
just
about it.
think it's been a little too over dramatized. Like some of these matchups, like, okay, I understand, but some of these matchups are just there to happen and just to get money.
you know,
That's what I
I
don't like.
I disagree with you on this, and here's why. Personally, I like boxing. I don't care if it's a heavyweight or a lightweight matchup. I'll watch boxing. I don't watch it. I don't have all the channels to watch it live, but I just think it's entertaining. Like how y'all like the UFC, I like boxing. And for me, I feel like boxing wasn't that entertaining for years up until about 2020. I'm gonna say about last year. I would say it became more of an online presence. I feel like more people started becoming more interested in boxing over the last year because of social media. Yes, do I think that some boxers, YouTube boxers, influence boxers are jerks? Yes, I think that's true. That some of them are, and that they flex their money and are clowns sometimes, to say the least. But do I think it's bad? No, I think it's actually good. Like I've seen a lot of good fights over the past year. Like there's some guys like Salt Poppy who, he was weighing a lot, but he's lost weight and he's become a really, really good boxer. There's a guy named Slim who's literally like skinny like me, and he's tall, but he's very entertaining and intimidating, and he's knocking out people about every fight. Face Temper,
Yeah,
he's really in its boxing scene recently. He did get knocked out by KSI, but I think that the influence boxing has made more fans in boxing. I really think it has because of these people's online presence. Yes, do I think that the influence boxers are a little bit of, showboats, think they're better than real, professional boxers? Yes, I think that's true. But we've seen some of these YouTube boxers actually beat real boxers. So
Right.
it's just, yeah, I get y'all's opinion, but for me, I think I like it.
I mean, I like
We
boxing.
have opinions.
I like boxing itself. I just think seeing all these like influencer fights just to happen, not because like there's no like real cause, but it's just more about like money. And it's like obviously money. I guess that gets old. But like I'm sure if I see like Jake Paul and KSI who have a real beef and everybody would find that exciting, I'm sure I'm gonna sit down and watch it. But like just like random fights get a little weird. Like I
Well,
don't know, like Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall. What?
well, what do you
That's just
think about?
odd.
Well, what do you think about Deji and Fuzi? They had beef, and Deji finally
That's
won of it,
no,
and
that's
he had
fine.
gone through so
That's one
much.
of those fights where like that's fine to me.
Yeah,
Okay.
my thing is, here's the problem. I think the problem is that these guys, when they fight in the ring, they have no spirit. They're there for purely money. Meanwhile, when you see these guys in boxing, oh crap! Well, my phone actually did the old low power mode thing. Sorry about that, fellas. Uh, anyways, no, but when you see these young boxers and these boxers, they're hungry, right? They want the win, and they don't want it for money. But I mean, they do want it for money. Don't get me wrong, they do. But they want that hunger and they want that title too. I mean,
Right.
Hmm.
there's more to it to them than just the
Because
money.
that's their career.
Right. And then
Yeah.
when you see these guys and when you see these guys, it's all just a money trick. And that's why it's like when I see them box, half the time it does kind of feel like it's staged and fake. And that's just because half the time these dudes are just running here and they're just uh, uh, like punching like
You know
little
what?
they're punching like little babies, man. And it's just not entertaining. It's not entertaining. I think
Well,
there is a few guys that have really set their game up. And listen, I will 100% say this now. Do I think Jake Paul has certified himself as an actual boxer? Of course, yes, I do. There's no detesting that. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't agree in that, I think you're letting your pride get in the way because he's clearly shown that he has skill. And when you even have big time guys talk about him and some of the accomplishments you've done, I mean, I will say he did knock out Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley's a UFC guy, and people can try to say that's fake, but you see that punch, that was a perfect connection, clean
hmm.
punch. So I mean, but I will say I just think there's too much money hungry people inside
Right.
that, and for that I just don't like it.
It's
It's just
fair.
not as entertaining. No one puts their soul into it.
You
Right.
know, See, that's a fair point. And I will say one thing I do like about influencer boxing recently is there's been females fighting too.
Yeah.
And they've been going at it hard. Like they literally just are hitting each other so hard. And it's like they're done. They've literally finished each other out by the first round. Like
I
it's
think Deegan
wild.
even wanted to do that.
And there's also I saw there's supposed to be like some tag team match coming up where there's gonna be a 2v2.
Hmm.
Like I forgot who they're all like some of those people in those matches are. I know one of them is Pineda, I think's his last name. But yeah, just a little bit of some boxing talk here, I mean, just doesn't hurt.
Well, I guess now we can get into the suggestions here. So, our first suggestion of the episode is favorite music genres and bands or artists from said genre.
Huh.
So, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it 100. This was probably my favorite suggestion and one where I feel like we could get the most out of without seeming like dumb or whatever. But favorite music genres, I like a lot of different music. I'm not a big fan of like country and like really like hardcore pop like that you see on TikTok, but I like pop rock. I like rock, like straight up rock, classic rock, hard rock, you name it. I like it. Punk rock, pop punk, metal, rap. I'll listen. I'll even listen to some country a little bit. I like country rap especially. country rock, southern rock, whatever it's called. Some of my favorite bands, like pop rock, Fall Out Boy, they're probably my favorite band. 21 Pilots as well is another really good band I like. Hard rock. I mean, I've become a fan of like Alter Bridge. I don't know if you
Mhm.
guys know who that is, but Alter Bridge is a band with the members of Creed, but with the vocalist Miles Kennedy. And Miles Kennedy is a killer singer. He is probably the best singer I have ever heard. I just went to go see their concert just this month at the beginning of the month, and it was killer. I was there with all three, or my dad again, and my cousin this time, and then a friend of theirs. And with them was Wolfgang Van Halen, who, if you guys don't know who that is Eddie Van Halen's son, and another band called Red. And all three of those bands rocked. They were so freaking cool. I loved that concert, except the venue was kind of bad. First of all, they overfilled the arena, and it's not an arena, it's like a theater. It's a really like tight space.
Huh.
And instead of it just being a sellout and they stopped selling tickets, they made more tickets and they oversold the venue. So you were basically stuffed in there like a sardine, which, don't get me wrong, when you're only in there and it's standing room only, you are going to be squished like a sardine either way. But I don't know, it's just worse because they were overselling the tickets and it was just way, way over capacity. And we're fortunate enough that really nobody got hurt. I had a couple of experiences at the concert, people pushing, getting out, trying to get out of the way, which is really stupid. People were really rude and they expect you to move out of the way, even though there's like nowhere to go. Because if you move back, you're going to hit somebody. If you move forward, you're going to hit somebody. So you're kind of losing either way. And you kind of just have to maneuver yourself to the point where the people behind or in front of you, if you're going to move, you have to know, like, hey, I'm here and I'm going to bump into you. Please don't get pissed off. Um, One thing that really made me mad about that concert as well was the security. When I went to the door, I was with my dad and we were going to meet my cousin and their friend. So we're walking and they told me that I couldn't go in because I didn't have a ticket, but my dad had the ticket on his phone. So we tried telling him, like, dude, he has the ticket on his phone. I can go in. It's cool. So, like, I'm trying to go in, right? And the guy's like, no, no, you can't go in. I'm trying to explain it. My dad has the ticket on his phone. He's like, I understand, I understand, I understand. And then I was like walking around trying to like look into the venue. Like I wasn't gonna walk in, but I was looking at the venue. So I like walk like literally half a step. The guy grabs my shoulder, right? He grabs my shoulders, pulls me back. So I, get him off. And he's like, stay here. I said, I understand, damn it. I yelled at him like that. I'm like, and I'm just cussing the security guard out. But at the same time, I'm thinking, let's be real. I don't want to miss this concert. So I'm not going to punch the security guard in the face. I also don't want to get arrested for assault. So there you go. Eventually I got in, but it was just really stupid. I mean, they're getting mad at me for not having a ticket, but they oversold the freaking venue.
I think is this the episode that Mike's trying to incriminate himself? I'm just playing, but
I don't care.
to
Care.
to be
Security
fair,
guard, security guard, if you're watching this, screw you. You're a D-bag.
oh come on, don't do
No,
that.
that security, I swear, if you would have thought the security guard was a D-bag too.
Well, I will say this that how I ramble about NASCAR and history.
Yes.
That's like Mike with music. Like we could literally talk with Mike about music
Dude,
for hours.
listen,
But
you just have to say one sentence. Like I could just be like Metallica, and then Mike's gonna go on this whole like choreograph like biography, bro. Like, just give him time.
I think well for me, my favorite genre, I like pretty much anything except for like depressing sad music or music that cusses like every 5-10 seconds. I don't like music with a lot of foul language. But I don't like sad music. Like I can't listen to Adele. Like it's just too sad.
Yeah.
All her songs are sad and depressing. Some Taylor Swift songs I don't really like them either because some of them are like sad about this boy did this, sort of thing. But I like rock, I like Christian music. Um, some of my favorite bands, I like the Newsboys, I like KB, he's a rapper, Toby Mac, also like Europe, Van Halen. I go on. I like a lot of rap bands like Guns N' Roses is another one that I like, and Duran Duran is another band. But what about you, Cam?
Well, this person asked what like my favorite genre is, and I'd say rap, and that's a whole variety in my opinion. The guy I like, okay, so I'm not gonna say his last name because I'm not trying to get copyrighted out here, but it's Joey and then Bad and then
Oh
the
yeah,
word
yeah,
for
yeah.
donkey, the word for donkey. And an album I recommend anybody listening to is called 1999 by him. Great, just great album. I like all types of rap, but I enjoy like the older versions of rap,
Yeah.
kind of like 90s, because I feel like at that time people weren't just talking about messing with women, drugs, and money. Those are the times when dudes were really dropping real stuff,
Right.
So I don't want to even I'm not even an old head, but I know what's up. So but if you're talking about just genres in general, I like Christian rap, like that's a big thing. Christian music is not my thing, like a lot of it isn't, but Christian rap is. Um I like oldies music. I like rock and roll. I got some jazz in me, bro. I mean, I listen to anything. As long as it's got a good sound to it, I know how to vibe out to it. Even sad songs, man. Sometimes you gotta get in the mood, all right? If you don't play a little Juice WRLD every once in a while, I don't know what you're doing with life.
You know, I thought of another band that I really like, and it's Skillet. If you ever
Sure.
go to one of
Yeah.
those concerts, it is loud, but it is electrifying. I remember when I went to Winter Jam in 2022. I had these sunglasses on, one of my favorite pair of sunglasses, and for some reason, I put it like I don't remember. I think it was like still on my shirt, but we were like jumping up and down,
Yeah.
and I must have it must have fell off, and I ended up like breaking them by
Oof.
jumping. So that was a very unfortunate, and also part of the shoes I had ripped, like half of it like fell off. That's how
Sheesh.
wild it got.
Skillet's cool. I've listened to a few of their songs. I definitely love Guns N' Roses. They were my first ever concert, and they were on Eric Jones's car for the Daytona 500, which we talked about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to
I
one of their concerts sometime this year. I don't know if they're coming by Charlotte or not.
they're coming on tour, but I don't remember if they're going near you. But Guns N' Roses is definitely cool for sure to go see live. Let's see, Van Halen. I do really like Van Halen. Cam, for you, I like Joey Bad, you know what? I've heard a few of his songs. I heard one with XXX Tentacion, Infinity 888. That song's really good.
Yeah.
Um, I actually know a rapper, believe it or not. He's a kind of an underground rapper. His name's Case Cobain. He's actually my neighbor, believe it or not, and super down to earth dude. Um, I've listened. He had an album. He actually gave me a copy of his CD, and that album was pretty good. Y'all should go check it out. I could send it to you guys if you want to listen to it. Christian, it does have like some foul language, so you might not like it as much, but it's still a good album.
I was thinking like there is a rapper that's near Cam or was near Cam who's grew up in Ohio and his name is Speed.
I was thinking that guy Yaley.
Oh God, I hate Yaley.
Oh
Mike, you said
no, what happened now?
you said that on purpose, Mike.
No, but I was thinking when Christian said a rapper near Ohio, I was like Yaley.
Ohio rappers.
God, I listen. I can't stand Yaley. All right, he's just different. I tell you that. He looks like he's off Amazing World of Gumball, bro. That's the best way to describe that.
Oh, which character?
Probably like a mix between the dad and I don't know somebody else. He's just pretty ugly. I don't
I
know.
could see him being the dad. No cat.
He's like, you know what he's like? He's like that crazy uncle that you just see, and he's always like drunk and just doing his own thing, and you're like,
And
all
at the
right,
barbecue,
yeah. They're like unemployed, bro. He's just doing his own thing at the barbecue. Heck yeah.
You ever seen those
Maryland.
memes of like the unemployed friends Snapchat stories? It's like someone in the
Yeah,
Grand Canyon or whatever. Dude, I've
yeah,
seen too
yeah,
many
yeah.
of
No,
those.
I
Like
think
it's
no.
like
I think
real life, like people I know that like don't work much and they're over here like on a cruise. I'm just like, how? Like,
I think it's no. I think the funnier ones are when you see it's like your unemployed friend at like two o'clock daytime, and it's just this guy in the backyard, and he's got like a bunch of like those body punching bags, and he's like throwing knives and swords, and stuff, and ninja stars and all that. I just think it's funny whenever I see that because he's always just doing the same thing.
for real, for real.
I just got to flex. Maryland brought you logic, and he was actually born near my area. He was born in Shady Grove Hospital, which is near Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Hmm.
Um, kind of doxing myself a little bit, but that's okay.
Hey,
It's just the
hey,
city.
guess what? Ohio brought you guys Kid Cudi, man. Kid Cudi, man, I love that dude.
Kid Cudi. All right.
Yeah, love
You
that
know,
dude.
Ohio, the only well, I'm trying to think of some of the landmarks in Ohio.
There's
Well,
That actually
LeBron
brings us
James
to our next
came from
topic,
Ohio.
geography.
LeBron James was from Akron.
Yeah. So was
Let's
Stephen
see.
Curry from Ohio.
Yeah, Curry too. Yeah.
We also
Everybody's
gave you
everybody's
yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut this, but when we get back, we'll talk a little bit about some geography. And we are back. So I guess we can talk about geography, a little bit about our states. I don't know really exactly what to talk about, but I guess we can talk about famous people that have been born in these states.
Well, we were talking about a little bit, and North Carolina. I was born in Gastonia, which is not too far from Charlotte. It's like 20 minutes. But there's this Charlotte's pretty much the capital of stock car racing, pretty much, or NASCAR, or so to speak.
Hey,
So
Christian, you
that's
don't need to
just mainly
flex.
what it's known for, other than the Hornets and Panthers losing every year. Um, but I mean, to be fair, there is a lot of sports around here. There isn't a whole lot of like crazy, like famous people names that I can think of. I know one's the baby, which he fell off recently. I don't really know a whole lot about him other than a lot of people saying he fell off.
He did. Um, well, Maryland, I was born in Tacoma Park, Maryland, but I've been raised in Gaithersburg and like Germantown. And it was actually funny because I used to live 5 minutes away from the current Commander's owner, but probably next month he's gonna sell it, Dan Snyder.
Hmm.
I actually live 5 minutes away from his house, and let's just say I would scream things at his house when I would drive by it. Let's just say that.
Oh, we all know Mike's
Um,
despise of him. If you've
yeah,
seen our past sports episodes.
let's see. Some famous people from Maryland: Michael Phillips, Logic, like I mentioned, Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Let's see. Ty Lawson was from here as well. He used to be an NBA player, but he fell off a
Yeah,
lot. He was really good
for,
back in like 2012, 2013 for the
former
Nuggets.
Tar Heel.
Let's see. Um, I don't know. That's all I can think of right now for like famous people. Actually, Sylvester Stallone actually used to live in Maryland when he was a
Yeah,
kid, and then he left. Oh man, Arnold Schwarzenegger owns a house down here. I don't know if he ever comes, but I know he owns a house.
probably has like 8
True,
or
but
more.
one of his 8 houses is here, so that's pretty cool.
What about
yeah.
you, Cam?
I mean, if you think about like historical people from Ohio, I always think the Wright Pat brothers. They're the people that created aviation, aka planes, like flying. And that's really big down in Fairborn, called the Wright Pat Air Force Base. They have an Air Force museum. If you're an out of towner, I always recommend people going there because it's free and it's really cool. Um, some other famous people. I mean, you have a lot of just professional athletes like LeBron James and Stephen Curry. They're from Ohio. Um, some other people I can think of is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's from Ohio. Uh, or at least I don't know. Maybe he's not from Ohio, but I know he lives here now. I'm actually like
Oh,
not too far away from where he lives. Like I think one of my aunts live right by him, which is crazy to say. And then I'm trying to think of his name. What's the singer's name? Oh,
Yes.
hold on. I'm thinking. He sings that song "All of Me," I think.
Oh, I
Oh,
know him. John Legend.
John
yeah.
Legend. Yes, John Legend is from Springfield, Ohio. So
A couple
that's
other
what.
people that I just thought of. Scott Van Pelt. He went to school at Maryland, and he comes to the Maryland games a lot. We love
Okay.
him down here. All Time Low. They're a band. They're from Baltimore, Maryland. Uh,
Yeah.
who else? There's like one other dude I was thinking of. I don't know. I'm gonna
Well,
get off this recording and think.
speaking of famous people, Cam, don't you have a story about how you one time saw, was it Kanye or
Yeah.
Kim at a
Okay.
restaurant?
Oh shoot.
Yeah, we did. I did. I didn't get to talk to him, but I just saw him. So funny enough, we were actually inside a Bob Evans in
Oh yeah, yeah,
downtown
yeah.
Dayton. Downtown Dayton. Can you guys see me on my phone? I don't know why it's doing that. Is
Yes,
it
we can
showing
see
me?
you.
We can see.
I don't know why it on the thing is doing weird. Anyways, okay. Point is, so it was funny because he actually went like everywhere. And it was due to basically. I don't know if you guys remember when the whole Dayton shooting happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might
It
remember
was
that.
around there and when the Dayton tornadoes hit, right? So, it was big time, and I don't even know why Kanye was down there. I'm sure he had to do something with something, and I just didn't even really recognize it. But I was eating inside the Bob Evans, and I hear all these like commotion, right? And I'm like sitting in my chair, I'm just eating my warm, soggy egg from Bob Evans, right? My 5.99 plate, right? And because we were down by the Oregon district, and that's where the Dayton shooting happened. And I peeked up and I looked, and I was like, "What's all that commotion?" Right? You see like flashes everywhere. People are talking about it, right? And I'm like, "What the heck?" So like, I kind of like break my neck. Like I kind of like break my neck a little bit and peek over, and all I see is like the lower part of Kanye's face, and I could tell immediately. I was like, "No freaking way!" And then I saw Kim Kardashian, and it was really cool because I could like actually see them. Like I could not, and I felt this sounds terrible to say because I always hate saying like I always say like I hate people that like bombard celebrities and like don't give them their space. But I could just not stop staring, dude. I was like,
Right.
this is the most random spot to see Kanye West, bro.
For real.
Yeah, like why is Kanye West here? I don't know. It was crazy.
Do these pictures like ring a bell, Cam? I looked it up. You
Uh,
can't see that. It's like really
no.
blurry. Screw
Yeah.
it. I'll just send it to your DMs, but
Okay.
yeah, it was like really, really blurry.
But yeah, no, that was a really cool moment. And then I also forgot to say Steven Spielberg is from Ohio.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, so I forgot about him. That was probably big. I know like Neil Armstrong is. So yeah, those are really my guys.
What's
Well, a
some
couple. Go ahead.
what's some of the other suggestions we had?
Oh, I was just getting ready to say that. Conspiracy theories and reptiles.
Okay, I got okay. Let's just bring out the audience here. Do you believe aliens are real? I am gonna say first. I'm gonna say absolutely, 100%. Do I believe they're invading the Earth? No. Now, I will say it's kind of hard to not say no anymore though, because the governments came out with stuff of
Yeah.
them showing these videos and all that. So I mean, I don't really know. I kind of wanted
I
to, but now I will say this though: I am a believer in Christ, but I
Same.
do believe. Why would
We're
God,
all
this
believers in
creative
Christ
God, who
here at this podcast.
yes, who has went in and created this such a dynamic universe, and then Milky Way and galaxies and space, right? Why would he make all this and then only make animals on one planet?
True.
That just doesn't seem right to me. You know what I mean? So I 100%, and and people don't have to understand, but any life form that's on a different planet is counted as an alien. So that's the way I look at it. And gosh knows, I mean, they could have lizards on Mars that we've never even heard of yet, and we're like, whoa, right? So I mean, who knows? Um, I would also say that I think something that always trips me out is like imagining that what if there's another universe out there where there's another world just like Earth and they're wondering the same thing. Like, are there really other people out there? Like that always trips me out too. Like that always creeps me out because
Yeah, like an alternate
from what
universe.
and from what we know, space is endless. from what we do know.
True.
We don't know if it ends, and we haven't, reached that level. So I mean, who knows? But yeah, I do believe in it. I do think aliens in some way. Now, do I think they're the comical, like bald, like
Little
skinny,
creatures,
pregnant looking
yeah.
thing? No, I don't think that, and I don't think they have like
Right.
pew pew space guns. No,
Well,
but
there is,
what do you think? What do you guys think?
there's plenty of footage I've seen of like UFOs and some like so quote unquote proof of aliens. I could see them being real, and I'm a Christian as well. It's very hard for me to say no, but it's really tough for me. I'm like 50-50 with it
Yeah.
because I've seen all this proof, like I mean that they're real, and I've seen two Bigfoots in my life. They're real. But what about you, Mike?
Well, I'm also a believer in Christ for those of you that don't know. Why do you look so surprised that I'm a believer in
Why
Christ,
is
Christian?
Cam laughing though?
No,
That's
I'm
what he's
laughing.
Why
making
are
me
both
die.
of you
No,
surprised that I'm a
no,
believer
no,
in
no, no, no.
Christ?
I'm not laughing that you're a believer in Christ. I'm laughing that
Yes, why was he surprised that I'm a believer in Christ?
No,
Please
No, no,
no,
explain to
I
me why
wasn't.
I'm a
I
no,
was just trying not to laugh at
Mike.
Cam.
okay,
Mike,
That's
I
why I
okay,
was.
okay,
wasn't
okay.
Mike. I'm not. Honest to God, I was not laughing at you for saying you believe in Christ.
Oh
I
no,
was
no, no,
laughing
no.
It was
You're
just
fine.
the way
You're
he
fine.
said
I
no.
was
it.
looking at
I was
Christian.
laughing.
The
No,
way he said it right after
no,
how we said it, I think it was kind
no.
of like
I was just laughing because Christian said he's seen Bigfoot
I
twice.
have. I've seen two of them. They're real.
Dude, what kind of acid were you taking, bro? I don't believe you one bit. No
I've
way.
seen them. Do you want me to tell you the stories of when I
Wait,
saw them?
yes, because this is ridiculous.
That
No,
might
hold
need
on,
to be a whole new
hold on,
episode.
hold on. You have to give us a shorter story, but let's. I want to hear Michael's. There it is. Mike's opinion.
So, like I said, I am a believer in Christ. I think that there is potential of
Yeah,
aliens, and I've seen proof of, UFOs, not in person, but like pictures of UFOs. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is alternate universes out there, and I wouldn't be surprised if there are people that are wondering about us. It would be
Among
very
Us.
right. It'd be very interesting to hear about, aliens, or maybe one day they'd come visit. It'd be cool. I don't think that they would hurt us. I think that they're just as curious about us as we are them.
right.
Well,
So,
what's your thoughts on mermaids though? I mean, there's footage of that. Like I've seen plenty of
like
this Cam's face.
I think I've seen
There
a
was this
skeleton
really
actually
cool
of a
show
mermaid.
I saw on Animal Planet years ago about mermaids, and I've seen some clips, and I think that there's a possibility, of them. Have you
I
not
don't
Listen,
seen
believe.
some of those clips? They're
listen,
pretty creepy, bro.
listen, Christian. No one wants to hear your little fetishes about mermaids, bro.
Fetish? Where are you going here? This is not a fetish. This is based off of proof and factual information.
This is a bunch of bull, bro.
You did
Mermaids.
not see that study that was did?
That was did nice one.
Yeah, for
No,
real.
dude,
English
you're
mermaid.
dude,
Yeah, I
you're,
know.
you're the most North Carolina man I've ever met. You think you saw Bigfoot? You say
I
you know what
have.
did? You know what did? You like NASCAR, dude. You got almost got you need to get a mullet going
Well, Cam,
on.
can you tell us about some of the Ohio creatures up there and some of the lore? I want to know.
I mean, there's not really much here, dude. I think the biggest creature you got to worry out for is them carts at Walmart, man, because that's all we got.
What about
Oh,
the
I have to tame
humanoids?
those carts.
I said them carts at Walmart, man. They'll get you. That's all we got here. We don't really have a lot of good and bad animals. I know, like we got some spiders here, like the brown recluse and the black widow.
Those are common down here too.
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't really have many like animals. I mean,
No
just kind of more.
chupacabras.
No,
Uh,
Christian, you're
so
built like a
hold up.
chupacabra.
Ooh, yeah, he
I
does
look
this
like
a lot
I
too,
look
guys.
like a
He roasts
ferret
us.
more than anything. But okay.
He's yeah, Mike out here built like a hot sauce bottle, bro.
Cam, you look like Toad from Mario.
Bro, you built like an anchovy. You were just talking about him earlier, bro. I know you're not
He
talking.
said an anchovy.
Yeah,
You said
I'm
somebody
dead.
else was built like an anchovy, bro.
Oh,
Shut
shit,
up.
not anchovy. I'm sorry. I meant you're built like a sardine. My fault.
Well,
Um,
speaking of reptiles, I saw this video that was circling on the internet the other day, which is pretty wild. There's this like 15-foot python that fell through a ceiling. I don't remember what country it was, but it just might like fall through a ceiling. If you haven't seen that, there it is. But yeah, imagine you're in your house and that just falls through the ceiling. Like that's wild, bro.
you know, Cam wanted to talk about carts, so I think it's time for me to talk about my job.
Okay,
Hey,
hold
just
on.
roll your
I'm
eyes
sorry.
at
I'm
Dude,
me,
just
you
saying.
need
Cam.
to
You just
tell us
put.
that
Hold on.
story of what
Time
you
out.
saw in the bathroom before
Hold
you
on.
go to
Time
the
out,
cart.
though.
Oh yes,
Michael.
yes.
Michael, I just want to say I'm calling you Michael now because it's hilarious. Listen here, Michael. All right. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyways,
Cameron.
okay. Anyways, my thing is
Oh, Campbell.
you
Sorry,
just
that's
went
your name's not
completely off
Cameron.
script, by the way, buddy. How did you go from reptiles to talking about your golfing carts there, or not golfing carts, but
I
shopping
don't know what the
carts?
heck to say about reptiles.
Yeah, because you're built like one. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead. Go ahead with your story.
Oh, what the? All right, I don't know what the heck to say about reptiles. Some pretty interesting stories at work. Thank you very much, Campbell,
Yeah.
Campbell
Well,
Okay,
Norton.
Michael.
you know,
Michael.
you know, I saw this
You're almost gonna be named Campbell.
Campbell's Chunky Soup. But
Yeah.
dude, I was scrolling on Instagram the other day and I just saw this. It was just this random video popped up on my feed of this like person walking their dog or whatever about it's like pool, and this alligator jumps out of it and like eats the dog. They start like shaking it around. I was like, how did that pop up on my feed, and how is that not taken down by Instagram? But they
For
allow these
real.
bots on it.
Oh, dude. Okay, hold on real quick, Michael. Before you before you go on to your grocery store and your job. I would just like to say just yesterday I saw this lady dip like this tarantula alive in like this chili sauce, and I was like, oh my goodness, and then she just ate it, like bit it in
What?
half and just started
Oh,
eating it, bro. And I was like, you know
Oh,
what, this is gonna be the new plague, man. This is gonna be the new Rona for us out here eating tarantulas,
nasty.
bro.
where'd you see that at?
On Instagram, it was like recommended. I don't know why. It was just on the feed.
Bro, I get some random weird stuff on my feed too sometimes. I'm just like,
Yeah,
why?
same.
It's one reason why I've been trying to cut back is because every time I turn on Instagram, I see something weird
Yeah.
pop up on there.
So,
I'm trying
what's
to
your grocery
find.
story, Mike?
I'm trying to find like normal pictures because I have pictures of how bad the carts get sometimes. But one story I did want to tell actually happened a couple weeks ago. So, for those of you that don't know, I work at a local grocery store. I'm not going to say the name because I'm still employed there and I don't want them to find this video, but they'll probably know my face and my name. So, this is probably somewhat of a bad idea, but it's kind of a funny story. Um, so basically, it was a Friday night, right? And this was kind of a weird Friday night. Just I don't know, like I'm a big since we're kind of talking about the conspiracy theories a little bit, I'm kind of a big believer on like the vibes in the air, you know what I'm saying? Like how the
Yeah.
vibes in the air
Yeah.
equal how I feel. And this was kind of a weird night. The vibes were just off. I don't know what it was. It was just off. So I was kind of more in a weird mood. So I'm over there, right? I work at night, right? I work from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. some nights, most nights actually. And it's like 9:50, right? We have a we had this lady come out, right? And she
Oh.
comes out and she says, "Hey, can you go in the women's bathroom? Some girls stole a pack of condoms and filled them up like water balloons and started squirting them around the entire bathroom." I am not joking when I tell you that.
Yeah.
So that's
Night,
what the video was that you sent me, and you were raging about how dirty the bathroom was. He literally, Cam, he showed me the video.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
saw
"What
it
are they
too.
doing with all these?"
I saw it too.
I'm not
Don't
gonna
worry.
play the video unless one
No,
you
don't.
Christian
You
you
get in
censor it.
trouble. No,
No,
I
no.
wouldn't show
I'm not
that.
gonna play the video. But
I
bro, I was like, why? Why does this have to
So
happen to me? But I did see the girls. Literally, they were little girls. They ran out the store. And then like 5 minutes later, the lady comes out and she's like, "Hey, can you go in the women's bathroom and clean up these condoms?" I'm like, "What?"
yeah,
I was like,
I will say I I work at Wendy's, right? So I know I think the guys have heard this story before, but I always say just because you don't really understand how stupid people are until you work at a job.
right.
That's just my opinion. And so we had a lady come through and she was complaining. I work at Wendy's and we have like 4 salads, right? There's like the Southwest avocado and there's like a couple other ones I can't think of, right? But she basically goes through the line and she goes, "Oh, you guys need to bring like back half the salads that you guys used to have." And I was like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry." I'm like, "We don't have those, but we do have these." And she's like, "No, no, no." She's like, "Yeah," but she's like, "You guys really need to do that. Like you guys don't have any of the options. None of them are good, and it's overpriced, right?" In the back of my head, I'm like, "You're right. I'll just get right on to management, ma'am. I'm not just 16 years old, 17 years old in Ohio, bro. All right, you know what I mean? I'll make sure really to get contact to Dave about that. You know what I mean? Even
I'm gonna
though,
call corporate.
yeah, yeah, I'll call corporate for you, right?" So then I once again redirected her, and I told her I was like, "Well, we do have these 4 salads." And she goes, "No, I don't want anything. I just wanted to complain," and then drove off, bro. Oh,
Why don't you call Wendy's corporate and do that? Why do you gotta go to like the random
yeah. Why
at
don't you
Wendy's?
email? How about this? Like I almost want to be like, "Ma'am, I get paid 12 an hour, bro. Do you think I have time to deal with you and your little 4-year-old brats, bro? I don't. I don't care. All right, eat your salad,
Please.
Sandra.
Base.
Sandra. She looked like a Sandra.
Bro. Well, I will say, since we're on the topic of weird restaurant stories, when there was this restaurant, I'm not going to say what it was, but there's this restaurant I used to work at back in high school. And yeah, I liked working there, but sometimes they had the nastiest customers like
Yeah,
to think of. Fast food,
yeah.
just, a lot of them obviously were doing smoking and doing stuff. And, the bathrooms are always absolutely awful to clean. People just have like, there's crap on the walls sometimes. There's a couple times I saw stuff on the ceiling. It was rough, dude. And that's just real life. Like working in restaurants and working in retail is not very fun sometimes, to say the least. And you'll always find something weird or you'll see something weird. Like there was one time, I'm not gonna say where, but I saw a mole in one of the drains at a job. A mole. It was just like swimming around. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Okay.
I
Let him cook, ratatouille. Just put
Yeah.
him there on the deep fry line. Let him cook.
I say for the last talk we should hear Christian's Bigfoot stories because I really just want to hear this.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
really want to
okay.
hear it too.
So I'll say the first time I saw one, it wasn't a great look. Like it wasn't like a great, like I could actually like fall in front of me sort of thing. But I was in the car one time and it was actually near Chesney. I want to say near Chesney, South Carolina. I remember like seeing a figure like in the like woods in a way, and it looked just like one. But then again, as I told you, it wasn't really that close of a view, so it could have been something else. But another time, there was a friend that I had grown up, and why are you laughing so much, Cam? I'm literally telling you a real story here. So
Cam is
Okay,
he
go ahead.
literally
lived
I'm sorry. I'm
laughing at us
sorry.
he
tonight.
lived in the
Shame on
middle of
you,
nowhere,
Campbell.
right? Like there's a lot of woods around, and it was in Cleveland
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
County,
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
and there's times where we'd be walking in the woods, we would hear these knocks. We didn't know what these knocks were. But there was one time I saw a track too. That was like it wasn't like a human track. It was like long.
Hmm.
So we were like, "This, what is this?" Sort of thing. We've seen coyotes around the area. They have chickens, or he had chickens. He had a dog too. But they wouldn't. They would all hide at night, and you know, even the coyotes wouldn't come around at night certain times. And we were like, it was just very odd. I remember the night that I saw one, we were up late, and the house is like, I want to say it was like 2 stories, but it's like middle of nowhere. I don't remember exactly what the house looked like. I know it was like colored yellow, but down below you could look down and you could see like the chicken fence. The fence had the chickens, and you have two. It's like some of the trails that go off. You could see a good bit of distance away, and I remember like it wasn't like dark where you couldn't see anything, but it was dark to where you could like look through and the window and with binoculars and see out there. And I saw one. It shook me up, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it shook me up. I was like, "There's no way."
Okay, so
Like
what it look like?
it was probably about 8 feet.
Feet?
What a Bigfoot looks like. It's hairy. It's big, and it had a certain motion. It was there and it was gone. We
It's
weren't gonna
hairy. It's
look for it. I
big.
didn't have no video camera or any
Dude,
photos, but it shook me up.
your
Well,
word
why are
choice. You
you
gotta.
laughing, Cam? I'm telling you a story of something that I saw. I wasn't
Because I'm
laughing
laughing because
about some of your stuff.
your word choice. Hairy and big, this long. Like
It's just the way you described it.
How else am I supposed to describe it? That it smelled? No, I could smell through a window.
I got a question. How old were you in both of these? Like what's the age? What were
I
the
was
ages?
like 13 or 14, something like that.
Both of them?
The first time was 13, I think, and then that one time I saw the track like a couple months before the thing,
Mm-hmm.
before I saw it.
Yeah,
So there was some time distance, but then again, I've heard some noises in the woods before. I don't go out in deep woods like I used to, and I haven't been to that house in years.
I don't know
Was
So
it
why.
this?
can't even
Who would
see through the.
focus? Thank you.
No, it did not look like that.
Okay. I mean, it's big and hairy, like you said.
Just like Mike. I'm just kidding. No. But
Bruh.
yeah, I mean, we were talking about conspiracy. We were talking about things we've seen. So I mean, I'm just telling y'all what I've seen.
Yeah.
Sounds
I
fun.
I don't know. I just feel like I can see that, like North Carolina man catches Bigfoot.
Okay.
They actually have a Bigfoot festival in South Carolina every year.
They do?
Yeah,
They have a what?
a Bigfoot festival in South Carolina. I know they have some in California, like the northern part of the state. They have some throughout different states, and they just have Bigfoot tracks on display. They have like stories. People share their stories of their encounters with Bigfoots. Some they've seen,
Cool.
stuff like that. It's fun. They have some crafts and stuff like that, or like paintings and drawings and sculptures and stuff like that.
That sounds pretty cool.
I think there's one they have in Ohio every year too. I know that I know they've had some stuff in Ohio before with Bigfoot.
Oh Lord, I don't even know. I'm not anywhere near those areas where I could be like country enough or like wooded enough where I could be like Bigfoot. I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to conclude the first episode of Nasboys Talks. Let us know if you guys like this. I think we had. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you finish what you're saying.
Oh, I thought you
Let
wanted
cook.
to say
Let
something.
him
Sorry,
cook.
bro.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Finish what you're saying, then I'll say it. It's all right.
But what I was going to say is that's going to conclude the episode. Let us know if you guys want to do this. I think we all had a lot of fun doing this, right?
Yeah, I did. I feel like Cam
a lot
was
of fun
just
to
judging
kinda...
me a little too much with some of my beliefs, but
We're
it's
not
okay.
judging you.
No,
it was
I'm
just
not
funny
judging
the way
you.
you said
It's just funny the way you're describing it. I don't know. I just think it's funny the way you're describing
A
it.
goofy odd description.
Basically, yes. We're not laughing. We're not judging you. Like, we're not saying, "Oh, he's BSing." Blah 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 blah. No, it's just funny the way you're like, he's hairy and he's big.
you like almost like I could see him, but like through like not like a window, but through the binocular windows.
Yes. Okay.
What do you mean? Okay, I said like you could see
Now we're
like
gonna have a fight
it was
about
dark
Bigfoot.
enough you could see through the window and with binoculars.
I was just joking with you, Christian. I do believe you. I just think it's funny the way you describe the stories. That's all.
Yes, exactly. I'm not judging you, bro. Anyway.
And then
Sussy.
I was gonna say, let us know if you guys liked it down in the comments. If you get us to, what are you guys thinking? 12 likes?
20.
I'll go 20. Sure.
20? Okay, 20 more likes. If you guys give us 20 likes, we'll make another one. And then also in the comments below, let us know what you guys would like us to talk about next.
I think we should make another one either way. Why not?
And Mike, we still need your mellow yellow tasting video.
Yes, we do.
Yes. I cannot find Mellow Yellow. I will probably have to order it online. So trust me, that
If you
will
can
come.
find Prime, you can find mellow yellow.
Right.
I can. I just gotta order it.
Yeah.
So all right, guys. We'll see you guys in the next NASCAR episode. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.